Have you ever felt like you're wearing a mask around others, hiding your emotions and your true authentic self, not showing any vulnerability for fear of the judgment that you may get? Well, as an introverted male, now over 50, I've lived like that my entire life, fearing what others think of me, not sharing my authentic self, not making real connections with others. But what if I was to tell you that to be more confident and have more courage, you need to show more vulnerability, not less? Today I want to share with you one little technique that I've used that has really started to help me come out of that shell, help me break free from the burden and the barrier of not sharing myself or talking to people more authentically to create connections. And it's an easy little technique, but it's, I think, a really good one for you to try out for yourself and see if it helps you along on this journey. So my name's Wade. As I said, I've been an introvert. I am an introvert, so that's my basic state. But I've also had a lot of barriers and fears around conflict in particular and fear of judgment, all stemming from childhood things. So what I've discovered over time, I didn't realise this, of course, when I was younger. I just thought that was a state of being. Hiding my emotions away. I didn't feel natural for me to bring them out with others. And what that meant is all my conversations and that I tended to have were quite shallow, quite basic. I wouldn't let people in. I wouldn't show emotions. And that's not just other people, that's close family and friends. I was just very, very, very sheltered. And what developed for me was a sense of a lack of purpose, a lack of joy. Because I was suppressing my emotions so much, it became my natural state. So I just was, going through life a bit meh, not super excited, but I would get low. I'd get low because I didn't like myself, but I didn't know why. So the realization for me was when I was having a few conversations with friends, had friends come to stay, good friends, I've known for years. And the conversations I was having were very superficial. Oh, how are you? How's work? The usual stuff, the boring stuff. And we'd just share those little stories and anecdotes, and I would share the same, but never, not once did we go into any depth of feelings, how everyone was feeling, what they're struggling with, what's really exciting them at the time, other than the kids, doing stories about kids. So what I realised after sort of having those conversations, when I was away from them, once I took myself away from them, I didn't feel satisfied. I felt a little angry and a little upset with myself for not feeling like I'd connected more. And then you feel guilt because, well, that's why didn't I do more? Why couldn't I express myself more? And that happens through a lot of my interactions. I have things where I want something, I want to say something, and in my head I've said it. I've gone through the whole conversation. With my kids, I've got ideas and I've got my opinions and I've got things that I think will help. But when it comes time to actually do it, I freeze. It sucks me back into a little ball, tucks it all back down into my stomach, and I ignore it and move on. So, and the more I've been doing that, the more I've realised that's what I'm doing and that's not what I want. So I've realised I've got a big gap that I need to fill in terms of where I don't want to be to where I want to be in terms of authenticity and self-confidence, and having that ability to show some vulnerability, share my feelings with others. So in order to do that, I've been down a journey for the last just few years and learning about self-help, doing a lot of research online, trying some techniques. Wim Hof method for breathing and cold showers has been excellent, things like that, and doing more coaching, self-help lessons, and just trying to expose or do more exposure things with vulnerability. So maybe doing more with what I'm going to talk about a bit later, which is one of the little exercises that'll help. But what I want to do is, through this journey of self-discovery and learning these tools, I want to share my journey. I want to share my journey with you in the hopes that it will give you some tips and some advice that might be of use, that you might be able to take up or take on board and use to help you along this journey, if that's a journey you want to be on. If you're sick of being completely fake or just the mask on and it's exhausting and you're lacking that energy, you want the energy in life, and I didn't have it, and I know the energy for me helps my confidence. So it's building energy and building the techniques to help me be more authentic with others, and that's what I would like for you. So this is me sharing myself, being vulnerable, and that's what my channel is going to continue with. I want to delve deeper into this in order to help you, and by doing that, that helps me, and it helps push me past my boundaries and get my experience. But just to talk about the fear side and how that manifested in me and stopping me, what was stopping me from being more authentic, having the discussions, is with being introverted, I have the social anxieties, and that social anxiety is very much a fear of judgment, and also stems into that fear of conflict. So I go to an event, or I'm building up to go to an event, and I start to get real tense in the stomach, really tense, and I get into quite a bad mood because I'm tense and I'm nervous. That, you know, I'm at home, and if my family says anything, I get short with them because I'm trying to process this in my head, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. I'm just mulling stuff over in my head, and it's things like, what if they don't like me? What if they judge me? What if I embarrass myself? You know, what if there's a disagreement? Oh, what if I'm boring? What if people, you know, don't like me because I'm boring? What if I've got no value? And all these fears, and your head's just going off, and it's all internal. It's all I. And then stemming from that, the other major fear is fear of conflict. So where that comes into play is I don't want to disagree with people. I don't want to raise my own opinions because I'm afraid that my opinion will be, you know, will cause a disagreement and an argument. That argument will escalate into violence. So it was always an escalation in my head, completely unjustified, completely not true, but it's what my mind was doing, and that would really, really get me all worked up and tense. So that is a major barrier that I'm working on as well. So essentially what I realise it now, once I've looked back, is I was a people pleaser and trying to be a nice guy. So that was my mask, that was what I'd put on. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't share my own opinion for fear that it was not relevant or valuable. Or certainly wouldn't disagree with someone about that and share my own personal belief. And it just made me feel like shit. It really did. So that's what I've realised, doing quite a bit of self-discovery, which I'll go into more of that also in future videos about ways to sort of start working on yourself, working backwards. Getting onto the technique that I wanted to share today is to gain more courage and more confidence in yourself, and to start to unlock your own authenticity on your next conversation. And I would say, for the easiest way to do this, start with a family member, your partner or your kids, and share how you're feeling. No matter how much you're feeling, oh, I can't do that, and it's really, really struggling, just let it out. Let it just out. A simple how you're feeling, how something made you feel in the day, something authentic, something real, and just see how you react. See how the other person reacts. You may be pleasantly surprised that it's a relief for a start. You feel better because you've done something with a bit of confidence. You've had that fear, but you've done it anyway. And the other person is more likely to appreciate what you've said. Well, I certainly hope they do, but that's normally the case. And then just build from that. Do it a little bit more and a little bit more with your family for a start, whatever's more comfortable for you. And then move into a similar thing with colleagues at work, outside of home. You know, just start removing that mask just a little bit, and then build from that. So that gradual exposure. It's a great way to start the journey of self-confidence and authenticity, and removing that mask. So that's what I'd really encourage you to try, and I would really, really love to hear what you discover once you've done it. So have a go at it. Just be brave, face that fear. Just a wee bit of realness, a wee bit of authenticity, and then come back and let me know in the comments what you felt. How did that make you feel? How did it go? Was there an aha moment? And is it something that you think you could develop further to increase your confidence? Yeah, I'd love to hear. It's something that's worked for me, and I'm still working on it. I'm still building it. I've gone from family. I'm doing this with work colleagues, and the conversations I'm having are way deeper and way more satisfying. I'm an introvert. I really prefer deeper, meaningful things, meaningful connection rather than shallow conversations. A people pleaser and a nice guy, we tend to stay shallow, you know, in conversation anyway. And as an introvert, that's not my jam, and generally isn't a jam for introverts anyway. So yeah, so that's where we're at. That's what I'd like you to try. I think it's a great thing that's helped me. These are all things I'll be sharing with you that it's based on my own experience. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just an everyday dad, partner, you know, introverted one, trying to break free and be more authentic. And I'd love to help you do the same thing in your life. So, and the world needs it. The world really needs you to be authentic. It needs to be your real self. And you need it. I need it. You know, you can start to be more authentic, face your fears, be a better dad, be a better partner, be a better brother, sister, son, you know, better family member, and a better mate. All these things are really important. So thank you for joining me. This is my first ever video, so please excuse the little errors along the way, but I'm shooting this pretty much as I can with no editing, because this is what I want to do. I do better of working sort of from the gut once I've got a general outline, so it might get a bit rambly, but I hope you got something out of it and some benefit. And if you did, please do the old subscribe and like. It just helps my channel. It's going to help me grow and help me on this journey to share more vulnerability and to lead by example, and help you do the same. So thank you very much. Again, I'm Wade. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate you, and remember, the world needs you authentic. Thanks.